Today is the day I will change my luck. I will fight 3 pennies and they'll be head up. I will walk like a queen in my panties and jeans, 'cause I know where I come from. From the stars and the sun, from that magical one, I am part of this thing called life. Yeah, from the known to unseen, everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life. Yeah, today is the day I'll remember to see only good, only God happening through you and me. I will not forget all the treasures due me, 'cause I know where I come from. From the stars and the sun, from that magical one, I am part of this thing called life. Yeah, from the known to unseen, everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life. Yeah, today is the day I'll be more of myself, love my skin, where I've been, and everyone else. No more push, no more pull, simply flow as I go, 'cause I know where I come from. From the stars and the sun, from that magical one, I am part of this thing called life. Yeah, from the known to unseen, everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. Yeah, from the stars and the sun, from the magical one, I am part of this thing called life. Yeah, from the known to unseen, everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life. I am loved by this thing called life.
Good morning, Unity of Payson. Good. Everybody's awake. And good morning to those of you who are joining us virtually. It's a beautiful sunny day. A little cold, but sunny day here in Payson. And we are grateful for this beautiful weather. This month we have the theme of freedom. We're going to look at freedom in maybe a different way than we've looked at it before. And I'm excited by it. So as we just kind of let yourself breathe and relax and get a sense that you're in the flow as we open in prayer. God of all goodness, we are grateful. Grateful that we are not limited. Oh, it seems like sometimes we are. But the very truth is that the divine is within us, and coming with that divine in us is an amazing sense of freedom, an amazing truth that we are not limited, that all things work together for good. So as we join together this morning in this gratitude, we say, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, because that's about the best prayer there is. And so it is. Amen. Amen. We'll have an opening song. If you're here in person, please stand. Swing wide the doors. You can swing along with it a little bit too.
Doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Here we go now. doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in anymore. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for, and what this life is about. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. About lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. There's a voice that I've heard for years. I learned to keep it inside, but now it's coming in loud and clear. I want a deeper life. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. About lending a hand. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. All right now, swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine.
Wow, was that a great song? I think we need to get the lyrics from that one page that talks about it's about love, it's about kindness, it's about comfort, and put it on our vision board, because isn't that what we're about? So wonderful. I thought that was perfect. So welcome to Unity of Payson, and we are so glad you're all with us this morning. It is so wonderful to see everyone here in person. And look at all those people online. Well, I don't know if you can see them too. So there's quite a few online too. We are definitely growing. So for those of you online, if you would please enter into the chat where you're coming from, we would love that. And I just wanted to see if there's anyone here for the first or second time. I don't see anyone here. No one online? Did you say no, Tom?
Yeah, no one is.
Okay. Well, we do welcome you all. And if you would like to and are not getting the emails from Unity of Mesa, please put your... I'm stuck in Mesa. So please put your information either in the chat or go online to unity.org, or there's a paper in the back you could fill out. So, and if you are online, if you would stay after, and Rev Neal would like to welcome you at that time. And if you're here in person, it is potluck day. So we are going to join the United Methodists and go over and have some lunch. So if you brought something or if you didn't, please stay, because there's always an abundance of food. Okay, so can we say together our welcoming blessing? We love you, we bless you, and we welcome you. And now it's time for our gratitudes. And Unity of Payson is so grateful for all of the people that give of their time and their talents. And there's so many talented people here. And also grateful for the opportunity to come here and worship, and also with the technology, have that online. So if you have a gratitude, if you could raise your hand, and online, if you would like to raise your hand, or if you would like to.
Hey, I don't know where the red mic is, so
Uh-oh,
I don't either.
we're missing the mic.
I will gratitude up front.
Okay.
Pam has one online.
Okay, good.
Good morning, everybody. It's Betty. And I just wanted to say I am so grateful for my granddaughter, Alicia, at her bridal shower yesterday, but it was a combined guys and gals, and it was a Derby Day party. And I'm just so grateful for friends and family and to have such a support community. So I am grateful.
Pam, I think you are unmuted, so just go right ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. I'm grateful for the 18 years of joy and love that I received from my little dog, Danny. His birthday was Monday, and on Tuesday, he crossed over the Rainbow Bridge and went into the next life. And I'm just grateful for all the years of joy that I had him.
Our thoughts are with you. That's always a big loss.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And
All right. Is this working? Okay.
Yes. Yep.
I am very grateful for the insight and basically other things that I learned at Rom's Farm yesterday. We played music for an event out there, and the insight in how to facilitate, the natural laws of this planet to be able to enjoy the abundance of the earth. And I learned a lot about that yesterday, and I wanted to say I feel really blessed by the time we spent out there and in the joy in sharing music with other people.
wow, I'm so sorry I missed that. Next year.
I have to follow up on that. I am so grateful for Ron and his open-hearted offer. Big applause. His open-hearted offer of his beautiful organic farm to all of us on many occasions, not just the celebration yesterday. You ask him, he'll tell you how many times. I'm there most of the time, so it was a wonderful celebration time together. Where's Debbie? Debbie did an art project out there with people. Tom did some Tai Chi, Qigong exercise. I did a little meditation. It was just a wonderful time out there. And it warmed up enough to enjoy it too.
Donna has a.
Donna.
Hey, I just wanted to add, Anne, we so appreciated your music, playing your little guitar, and Jennifer, her voice was just angelic again, and I just was blown away by that. So thank you both. I don't know if Jennifer's there in person, but thank you, Jennifer, too.
She's way in the back. So anyone else? Debbie.
Put it up close.
I just wanted to thank Rom. Put on a really good spread. The gals that you had and the guy, Joe, that got all of the food together, and Wow, what an awesome experience. Thank you, Ron. Thank you.
Okay. I would like to just add one also. Like Betty, I was down in the valley yesterday because my daughter had her bridal shower. And it was a much smaller event, but it was just lovely. And I'm so grateful for all the wonderful people in our lives. So, moving on. Well, we are also grateful for our prayer chaplains. And I see we have a couple of them here today. Betty is here and Anne Marie back there. And I am also a prayer chaplain. So we are available if anybody would like, individual prayer. And you can also send your requests into Rev Neal at unityofpayson@gmail.com. And that's up on the board also. And so we would pray with you for 30 days and then send your prayers up to Unity Village to be prayed on for another 30 days. And all those prayers are kept sacred and confidential, and it is truly our honor to pray with you. There are also prayer slips in the back if you want to put them in the box there. And if anybody on chat would like to send a message or just send a message from unity.org, we will contact you if you put your contact information. And if you don't want to be contacted, that's okay too. So our theme for this month is freedom. And let's say our affirmation together. I am free. I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free and I am limited right now. Wow. And Reverend Neal will be our speaker today, and he is going to talk about Stuck No More. And so for our metaphysical moment today, I have a reading from Life Visioning. I think a lot of you probably recognize this book because we did a whole series on visioning with Michael Beckwith, and we'll talk about this later, but tomorrow we are going to do a recap on that. So there's a lot of great insights in this book. And we'll talk about that later. Okay. A choice to cling to desires, opinions, beliefs, and habit patterns that do not serve your evolutionary growth keeps you in bondage because it obscures awareness of the self. On the other hand, when you choose to do the necessary inner work to reclaim your identity as a freeborn, individualized expression of source, you will break the chains that bind you. There is a more evolved stage than freedom from something. It is freedom for something. It is the freedom to respond to our life purpose, even when it isn't what our ego has planned for us. Have you ever been there? It is freedom to create, to dance to the unique rhythm of our inner spirit, living our potential to awaken, to self-express, to contribute our gifts, talents, skills as a beneficial presence on the planet. Fuels the heart of a free man, a free woman, a free being. When we gain our inner freedom to become contributors to the evolutionary thrust of the universe, to that which seeks to emerge in the human realm. And so, being the first Sunday of the month, we have our mission and vision. So if you would join with me in affirming our mission, we are welcoming an open-hearted community, inspiring each other to live in love, joy, and service. And our vision, we enrich our world through spirit-centered purpose, positive human connection, and stewardship of all creation. And now our speaker, Rev Neal, will tell us how to become unstuck.
At the end of the message, Rick, I have a handout for you Betty, you like hands on. This is for you especially.
Oh,
And the handout will be on the screen, so if you're with us virtually, you can give a screenshot or take out your phone and take a picture with the camera, and you'll have all that same information. But first of all, I am free, I am unlimited, there are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited right now, right now. I am free, I am unlimited, there are no chains that bind me. Well, you get the idea. Jennifer, let's see if we can include that in music next week. Good old Unity hymn. So today we talk about, well, I want to change the title a little bit. Stuck in a rut no more. So not just stuck in a rut no more. There's a character in the Hebrew scripture named Balaam. Anybody remember that name? Balaam. Baalam. And Balaam had a unique connection with an animal in the story of Balaam. Anybody remember what that animal is? Pam, you got to know that. Unmute and tell us. Maybe not. Balaam's ass, a donkey. Balaam's ass. Well, here goes the story. Since you didn't remember that, maybe you didn't remember all the details of the story. Balaam was a prophet, not in Israel, which is what most of the Hebrew scriptures focus on, but in the neighboring country of Moab. And Israel and Moab weren't getting along at all together. Matter of fact, the Moabites had quite a grievance against Israel, and they wanted to see them cursed. So Balak, the king of Moab, went to the prophet, a true prophet, Balaam, and said, I'm going to hire you to go and curse Israel. Go and curse Israel. Now, Balaam took the money, but he was also a true prophet, and he heard the voice of God. The voice of God says, go and bless Israel. Oh, so he had conflicting interest here. Paid to curse, but directed to bless. Well, he decided he was going anyway. And along the road, he and his donkey were going well, but midway through the journey, all of a sudden the donkey halted and almost threw Balaam off the donkey. And Balaam was a little irritated with the donkey, and he took a stick and whacked that donkey 3 times. And the donkey opened its mouth and said, this is a story, remember? And we're looking for the truth in this story. Why did you hit me 3 times? Because the donkey had seen what Balaam had not. But what Balaam then saw after he had hit the donkey, was an angel of the Lord standing in front, saying, don't go. Don't go to Israel in this conflicted situation that you're in. I know you've purposed to do it. You're going to do it. You've got this groove going. You're headed for Israel to, I don't know, do what, bless or curse, and maybe a little bit of both. But don't go. And Balaam was a resistant kind of a guy. He decided he really wanted to go anyway. Well, we didn't want to have to pay the money back, for one thing. And he asked again and again. And finally, the angel of the Lord consented and allowed him to go. Now, the story gets kind of mixed at this point. We don't actually know. We know he did a little bit of cursing and maybe a little bit of blessing. And we don't know his exact end, but he was stuck in that rut all the way from the time the king said, I want to hire you, all the way through the listening to the voice of God, getting stopped by the angel of the Lord, being allowed to go. He just stayed in that rut. So that's what we're going to talk about today, how we can be stuck in the rut no more. Not being stuck in a rut means we're going to get freed up, freed to be who we really are, and to be to others who they truly are. We're going to be free when it doesn't seem possible that we're free. And we're going to free ourselves by traveling a path of surrender. Now that kind of outlines where we're going this whole month. But let's get down to stuck in a rut no more. I put together a key spiritual truth. We don't have to stay stuck in our rut. Freedom is available. There are three ways I think we get stuck that would be different. When we look at freedom, we look about a lot of other things that may be patriotic. It may be just personal freedom to do whatever we want to do. But freedom is a little more than that. Freedom is not to be stuck in our thinking and in our memory. Do you ever get stuck in a thought loop? Thought keeps coming again and again. They tell us that many tens of thousands of thoughts enter our heads every day, or maybe they emanate from our heads every day. And most of them are thoughts that we do over and over and over and over again. So we get stuck in a memory or in a thought loop. And that thought loop sometimes just does not serve us very well. For one thing, it doesn't allow us to stay in the present moment. It doesn't allow us to look toward that which is really our heart's desire. It doesn't allow us to evolve, to move forward, to emerge into this world as it said in Michael Beckwith's book. And thank you for reading that, Sue. That was great. There's a Buddhist story that kind of talks about this getting stuck in a memory loop. Story is that a senior monk and a junior monk were traveling to a distant monastery. They came to a river, and the river was a little bit deep. They could wade through it, but there on the bank of the river a beautiful young woman who needed to go to the other side. The senior monk didn't hesitate. He put the woman on his shoulders, waded through, and took her to the other side. So when the junior monk caught up, he said, well, why did you do that? You know, it's against our traditions and against our rules to touch a woman. And the senior monk didn't say anything. They continued the journey, another hour, another 2 hours, another 3 hours, and finally they arrived at the monastery. And before they entered, the junior monk said, I just don't understand how you could do that. The senior monk said, I put that woman down hours ago. You're still carrying her. That thought loop going over and over again, maybe what we should have done, maybe what we didn't do, maybe anything. That thought loop, and many times, most times, something that just doesn't serve us very well. There's what I call a memory wheel too. Memories. Oh, beautiful. I don't know, I was in the company of somebody the last day or two, and in the company of a lot of people, so I don't remember who it was. But we were talking about some beautiful memories that we had, and they were wonderful. However, it goes both sides of a line. There are many memories that are about what we didn't like, about the person who treated us badly, about so many other things that take us again off of being in the present, away from being in the present. And that memory, it's like we're a gerbil on a wheel. We're going, but we're going nowhere, but we're going fast. And so we take those memories and we let them dominate in our lives. Well, the good news is you don't have to be stuck in that rut anymore. The sages doubted Ching. Leslie, if you're listening or watching this thing, thank you for that book. Leslie gave me this book. Says this about memories, and I thought it was particularly poignant. Let your memories, good and bad, come and go without lingering. These are not you. They are merely images projected on the screen of your mind. Don't be trapped in this dark theater. Get outside and meet the life set before you in this moment. We don't have to stay stuck in our rut. Freedom is available. And I want to turn to sticky, unserving habits. We are creatures of habit. I remember the story, and I always get a kick out of it when I think of it. Oh, that's a memory, isn't it? Well, I'll have to think about that. The story goes like this. A student, college student, we could call him or her Jim or Jane, had a 9 o'clock class. Not too early, but it was a 9 o'clock class. And Jim or Jane went to class on the first day of class and arrived at 9:10. The professor accommodated that for the time being. But on the next class, they also arrived at 9:10. And the next, 9:10, 9:10. Finally, the professor, a little bit irritated, said, Jim, Jane, for you, 9:10 is the starting time. You don't have to be late to class. Anybody want to guess what happened? Jim or Jane came at 9:20. There was that pattern, that non-serving pattern that just was active in their life. You know, being stuck in that way, in those patterns, is comfortable. Not always real likable, but it's comfortable. The brain likes to stop thinking. Despite the fact that we have 60,000 thoughts, the brain likes to take it easy a little bit. We'll put it that way. And would rather rely on routine, which is a repeated thought again, would rather rely on routine so it doesn't have to work so hard. It's difficult to move on from that comfortable pattern. And sometimes we, in our comfortable but unserving or non-serving patterns, just get resistant to having that healed, even though we know it might be better for us if we did. Somehow we resist it. So routine allows that short-term freedom. Now, a little bit about the brain. Again, I'm not the expert, but I read some experts now and then, and I like some of the things I hear. The brain, when it's patterning again and again, doing something again and again, is taking a little bit of break. But when it runs up to something that kind of inspires change, even when you may step a foot out and get started on change, the brain says no, no. In that limbic system, a fight, flight, and fear mechanism takes place. And so we back up into the comfort zone. We don't persevere in that change that will allow us to merge into what we're destined to be. Brain also releases dopamine, which makes us feel good. So we're feeling good, and we're backing away from the challenge that we may have. to look to something that is our true heart's desire, or to look to a pattern that really serves us, a habit that really serves us. Remember the truth. We don't have to stay stuck in our rut. Freedom is available. Then, sometimes we're ancestrally stuck. Ancestor. I like that word, ancestor. I'm full of stories today. Remember the story, I'm sure you've heard this one, about the Easter ham. Time to cook the Easter ham, and you get 2 pots and put them in the oven. Cut that ham in half, 1 in each pot, and they go in the oven. And you do that year after year after year. Somebody asks you, how come you use 2 pots? There's a big one right over there. You could fit it in that 1 pot. And the answer, of course, is that Grandma didn't have a big enough pot. And so the ham was cut and put in 2 pots. But there was a legacy that Grandma gave that came down through even perhaps a lack of understanding about things are happening, just doing it because that was something that was passed down from family member to family member. Don Miguel Ruiz. Everybody know that book, Four Agreements? Somebody, let me see hands. Well, a lot of people know that book. The beginning of his book, he has a little chapter on domestication. What domestication is? Well, of course, you know that with your pets. But you don't know that you, too, are domesticated. All of those parents, teachers, mentors, influences domesticate you. Here's what he says, real briefly. The adults around us hook our attention and put information into our minds through repetition. We're children, of course, and we accept that. But like we spoke of before, the change that would happen in us, we turn away from, even though it would be for our benefit. I also like a passage from the Hebrew Scriptures again in Deuteronomy, but it has to be understood metaphysically. So I'm going to read it as it is and then kind of reinterpret it. I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the parents to the 3rd and 4th generation of those who hate me. Pretty severe. But let's see the truth beneath that. There's a generational movement of things that we just accept. We just take it on, not realizing that we could have freedom from that. It goes on to say, but also showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. Well, I won't exactly sit with that. Love me. Those that truly connect with the Christ within them. For those, there's freedom from that. Freedom is available. In the Christian scriptures, there's a man who's about to be healed, and the bystanders ask Jesus, was it this man's sin or was it his parents? Is that why he's ill? Is that why he's injured? And Jesus said, neither this man nor his parents sinned. And here's the exciting part. He was born blind so that God's works might be revealed in him. Even though we have all of this heritage from our ancestry, we have the opportunity to express the divine. We are expressions of the divine. And as we do, we change things greatly. Not only for our benefit, but for the benefit of all. Here's that key spiritual truth again. We don't have to stay stuck in our rut. Freedom is available. And now we get to the part that I hope is helpful to you. How do I do that? Rick, can you pass out those handouts? And Tom, if you could put up that slide. If you're on the line and with us virtually, if you can take a screenshot of this slide or take your camera and snap a quick picture, then you'll have the same thing as we're handing out here in person. How do I do that? Stuck in a rut no more. I'll wait till Rick finishes. Even if you give 2 to one person, maybe that person needs 2 of them, Rick.
Especially these two.
Okay, let's go. So I'm suggesting 3 things. And I wanted to give you the handout because it'd be hard to remember all these things in your mind. And you might make a modification of these and it might work a little differently for you, but there's still a truth behind this, I believe. How do I do that? Slow down to get unstuck. You know how when you're stuck in the mud, Rob, you've never had that experience with vehicle being stuck in the mud down on the farm, have you? The faster you go, the more you hit that accelerator and try to get out of that mud, the less progress you make. And when you slow down, and there can be a little bit of traction, that vehicle can climb out of that rut. Same is true with us. Slow down to get up. Slow your thinking down. Did you ever get involved in a monkey mind time? You're in your monkey mind going and going and going. And you say, I'm going to stop this. What happens? Monkey mind keeps going. Because you're thinking all or nothing. I'm going to do this completely. Or I'm not going to do it at all. Slow down. How about if you sat there and you said, well, I just want to slow my mind down a little bit. And I'll slow it down. And I'll slow it down. Maybe I'll get to a place where I'll be quiet and I'll be still. And maybe it'll come back and I'll do it again. But slow down. Slow down not only your thinking, but your action. Oh, this is me. Something comes up and I'm off to do it right away. Don't really think about whether it's the right time to do it or if this is a thing that I should do. I'm off doing it. Slow down your action. Spend a little time in contemplation. Know, is this mine to do? Is this the time to do it? Instead of reacting, and that's the quick response, reacting to something. Whoa. Respond. Viktor Frankl, Austrian psychiatrist who endured the concentration camps, was a really wise fellow. He talked about reaction being an emotional response, triggered by something outside or triggered by some memory, but not the present moment, triggered. And this is what he says. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. How about that? 2 themes right in a row, growth and freedom. Slow down to get unstuck. Next, choose to change. How about making a choice for change? How about having an intention? Sometimes we just kind of let things happen. Well, allowing is sometimes very, very helpful. But sometimes it's up to us as creations of the divine, as a divine expression of the world, to make choices. That's how the world is changed, and that's how we are changed. So choose and intend to be unstuck. You may want to write an affirmation or an intention. You may journal about it. Choose to change. You might want to find a reason to change. That'll be helpful. That'll give you a little more support. Okay, here's an example from me. I'm fond of napping. And if I go out and do something, like I'm down on Rum's farm for 6 hours, I come home, I want to nap. But the tendency I have is to go to the recliner, sit back and my head flops over, and I get some measure of rest. But I know that if I can choose to go up and lie down on my bed and put the alarm clock on, I may be more productive later in the day. So I choose and make a small step to change. Now that's a somewhat trivial example, but this is true for all of us. If we choose to change, if we intend our change, you intend to be in alignment with our emergence into the world as expressions of the divine, then it's possible. Remember the brain that got all upset when you're trying to change something? Call it dissonance. Well, make dissonance your friend. Yeah, you're going to have to stick with it for a while, but you can. Make dissonance your friend. Don't immediately go running away the other way or fighting with it. Make it your friend. And third, use your powers. In Unity, we have the 12 powers of man. These are gifts that are part of our inheritance. They're inherently a part of us as divine creations. And two of those gifts that are really helpful here is one, strength. Strength is staying the course. So when you're tempted to back away, you don't want to change, even though you know it would be a good thing. You'd get where you're going, much more quickly. Use that power of strength. Outlast the urge to back away, to flee, or to fight it. The other power is the power of will. Will is the power to choose and to decide. Avoid those all or nothing strategies that we talked about. Choose to avoid them and take micro steps. Some people have epiphanies and things change all of a sudden. And you may have had them too, but they don't happen on a daily basis, probably. So choose the micro steps. Choose the micro steps and stay the course. Decide and use the power of strength. Remember that the sages Tao Te Ching. The last two lines I really like, so I want to say them again. Go outside and meet life set before you in this moment. Remember Balaam and Balaam's ass? Balaam had multiple chances to turn around to make a different choice, but he didn't. He could have gone and given the money back. He could have been looking for the angel. I mean, he'd been talking with God anyway. Or he could have been single-minded. He could have said, this is the course for me. This is what is mine to do. And either curse or bless. Not suggesting the cursing. I'm suggesting the blessing, of course. But it's the single-mindedness that would have allowed him to free himself from the stuck situation, the rut that he was in. Again, that key spiritual truth. You don't have to stay stuck in your rut. Freedom is available, and so it is.
Now let us prepare for meditation as we sing the song from Terry Wilder, I Allow.
I allow, I receive, I accept, I believe that I have all I need. I allow, I receive, I accept, I believe that I am all I need now. I allow, I receive, I accept, I believe that I have all I need. I allow, I receive, I accept, I believe that I am all I need now.
Let's prepare for that time of quiet, time of stillness. Let's slow down our thought. Bring it to a halt. If it wanders away again, gently bring it back. Let us slow down any action and just sit in the stillness and breathe. That symbol of life, that function of life, that when we pay attention to it, frees us from so much that is untrue. So breathe in now and notice your breath. Breathe out. Notice it coming from your nostrils. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you sit here this morning, contemplate briefly and take whatever comes into your mind, that intuitive mind that is so very wise. What is it that I am called to change? What's up for change in my life so that I may emerge higher, stronger, more loving? What's that pattern? What's that way of doing things? What's that habit? What comes up for you? Just sit with that for a moment. Like Balaam, we have heard the voice of God. And as you sit with that, don't wallow in it, but allow the resource that will help you affect change for your benefit in the world. Allow that resource to also come to your mind. And spend some time in quiet, knowing that it will be a process, but it's a divine truth that when you are quiet, you will know. So we enter into that quiet, a time for your reflection. Do you get some inkling of what is yours to do? What step, micro step, if you will, that you are to take? For that thing that comes to mind for you, and that resource, that divine resource that's available to you, to match them up and move forward, move upward to freedom. Anchor that in your memory. Anchor that in your heart. That is your challenge today and this coming week. And so we bring our attention back to this time, this moment, back to the place where you are, back to those around you, back to the world that spins around you. Changed. With a different perspective, you are seeing things differently. So do bring your attention back now. If you've had them closed, open your eyes, perhaps move your fingers and toes and be totally back here in this time and your place. And so it is.
As we come back to this place and this time, we'll prepare to give our offerings. Unity of Payson greatly appreciates all the gifts given to this ministry, and those gifts not only support this community, but also go out into the greater community. As you listen to the offering song, you will have an opportunity to give your gifts, and the information for giving is on the slides if you want to give online. You are greatly appreciated. So at this time, if you would just bring your attention to your gifts and let us affirm together. Freely we give and freely we receive. And the offertory song, I Am the Place Where God Shows Up, by Eddie Watkins Jr.
Am I strong enough to bear the burdens that sometimes come living this thing called life? Am I wise enough to make the right decisions when I'm standing at the fork in the road. Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Will I have enough to do the things I need to do to take care of myself? Will I have the health of mind and body to live a life of grace and wholeness? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place. I am the place where God. You are the place. Moves and breathes and has we are the place. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place. I am the place where God. You are the place.
We are so very grateful for these gifts and the abundance that they symbolize. And let us say together the offering dedication. Divine love flowing through us, blesses and multiplies all that we are, all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive. We are abundantly prosperous, and we give thanks. And so it is. So next week's speaker is again our wonderful Rev Neal, and the topic will be announced. Do you have the topic?
I'm gonna have to go back in my memory. I'll tell them under the PS.
Okay, very good. And let us say one more time that affirmation. I think that's an extremely powerful affirmation to send us off. I am free. I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free and unlimited right now. So we do have a few announcements for you, but remember to check either your email or the website, because there's always other things going on too. It is amazing how many things we have going on in this wonderful group of people. So tomorrow we are going to be having the Life Visioning class recap, as I mentioned earlier. And please feel free to come if you, even if you didn't do the class, because like I said, there's a lot of good nuggets in there that you can all use or enjoy. So that is tomorrow from 3 to 4, and you can come here to the fellowships hall, or it would be on Zoom. And then on Tuesday, Rick is going to be continuing the Let's Chew on Life's Big Questions together. It's been a wonderful discussion group with all sorts of different topics, and people have really enjoyed it and want to continue. So this time we're going to talk about what's love got to do with it. So that's a biggie, isn't it? And so we're going to explore a little bit about, what everybody thinks about that. And that is also here and on Zoom if you want to do it that way. And then Thursday, Reverend Neal is going to be starting a new group about addressing your fears. And don't we all have some fears? I always think I don't have that many fears, and then something confronts me and I'm like, oh. So that is going to be on Thursday, April 11th from 5 to 6 p.m. and that is on Zoom. And Reverend Neal would appreciate if you could RSVP with a call or a text to him. And if you would like to check out the gifts in the back, those are by donation. And now I think Reverend Neal is going to give us a PS.
My mind can only remember so many things, but I'll give you the idea of what's going to happen next week, if not the exact title. It's sometimes very difficult to move ahead. Sometimes difficult in the life's challenges to get free of what seems to hold you back. And that's what we're going to be talking about next week. There is also a sign up for that fears, the challenge of fear, that class. You can do that as well as talk to me or text or email me. It's a good group already assembled, and I'm looking forward to it. So I hope that if that's something that calls to you, you'll be able to join us as well. We do have potluck today, and so it's probably going to be another 15 or 20 minutes until they're ready to receive us on that side. But I have something for you to do in the meantime. Unity Village has a new labyrinth. And we have a puzzle of that labyrinth. And the pieces are, a puzzle board is there, and the pieces are on the table. So when you have an extra minute when you're hanging around, put a piece or two in. It hasn't even started. Somebody can get it started. And we'll put it together. We'll see how long it takes us. I think that's it. I'm delighted to say let's gather together in a circle here. And those of you who are online, hang in, because I would like to greet you as we sing the peace song and then the prayer for protection.
Gonna do happy birthday first.
Oh, hold on. Thank you. Tom reminds me this is the first Sunday of the month. Who here has a birthday in the month of April? I don't see any hands. Anybody online want to pipe up and say, I've got a birthday?
Pam is raising her hand.
Pam is raising her hand, so we got Pam. So we're singing to Pam and an unnamed few others. So I've started singing, so I'm going to go ahead and start it anyway. And you see the alternate words on the screen. Happy birthday to you. There's no one like you, uniquely created. I love knowing you. I bless you with life and abundance galore. God bless you, Pam, and have many more. And now the peace song.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, that peace that is meant to be, with God as creator, family are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace be
the prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. And the presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you so much for being here with us. Those of you who are here, don't leave. Let's go to the potluck. It'll give us a couple of minutes break. And I'm looking at everybody online. Happy birthday, Pam. What day is it? Unmute and tell us.
April 12th.
April 12th. That's not long away. That's before next Sunday. Oh, wow. Ed, great to see you. Are you still down in Ajo? Still down there. When does he come up? When do you come up? Another week or so?
I'm in Clay Springs.
Okay. Thank you, Donna, beloved. Was here early, checking us out on sound, and thank you, Donna. Bobby, great to see you. Sorry you couldn't be there yesterday.
No,
It was really
I
good.
I feel bad we missed it.
We'll have to find another thing. And Teresa, thank you, Teresa. I know I've called you. I'm going to call you again because I'm not talking. I'm talking to them. So, Austin, I think, is Samson, I believe, and Mary Ann, and I think that's it for today. And thank you again so much for being here. Bless you all, and we wish we could send along some of the potluck, but that's a little hard. We haven't figured that out yet. So, see you soon. Yeah. So I'll be here next week. Yeah. It's 3 weeks. Just email me or text me and hold on. Yeah, I know.